Today we're going to go try and fire up an old Motorgrader that's been sitting for about 4 years. It needs to be moved because it's blocking in another truck of mine that I think I'm going to get rid of, because I think I got another truck bought that I can replace that one with. So it's going to be a little reshuffling of stuff just to get to a truck, but while we've got the Motorgrader going, hopefully it'll start. We can get it pulled out and maybe blade the track and the old road a little bit, kind of smooth it up before winter hits. So we'll go give it a try, see how we get along. And there's the truck I need to get out. Of course, this is what's in the way. I should be a little bit careful here because I'd be real surprised if there's not at least one wasp nest around here. 11.5 volts, that's not terrible. And so 1190. So well, the batteries aren't completely junk, but I don't think that's going to be enough to start it. Well, it's damp, but it's not up. I'm gonna have to go grab some antifreeze. And then, where's the dipstick at? Get to that without. Oh, right in front of me. Well, thought this had a starting range. Maybe not. It doesn't, but it's got oil in it. We'll get it fired up. Check it then. Tires are mostly up. Okay, well, let the battery charger do its thing. We're going to need to move this other dump truck out of the way so I can get the blade through. Maybe we'll go do that. And
Thing's definitely got some air leaks that need fixed. And got a request for the air horn, but it's just dumping air. I don't know if the horn's gone or foot valve's leaking on this one too. I'll have to dig around and see where the horn is even at on this. It's not up on the roof. We've got it mounted on the frame somewhere, but just dumping air right now. So no horn today. All right, one more try. Give it a little preheat. Everything seems to be working all right. So I'm gonna hook the battery charger and we'll get this thing moving. it dawned on me that maybe not all of you grew up in a junkyard with heavy equipment around your whole life. So it might behoove me to point a few things out. On this machine, we'll start here on the right. This is the manual throttle. Well, I mean, they're all manual. That you can just kind of set and forget. And then there is also on the floor, this is an accelerator, which does the same thing as the throttle as far as pulling it back. Then back here you've got your decelerator. So if you run your throttle up and you want to get to a point where you need to reverse direction or something, you just hit the decelerator and it idles down, level off, and comes back up. And that's partly due to the fact that you really don't want to be messing with that with your hands, because as you can see, you've already got quite a few other things to do. Over here is your blade lift. This is for the right side. It corresponds just the way you're looking. So if we pull this back, it raises up, it lifts the blade, and we push forward, it goes down. Now, on the other side, obviously we've got the exact same thing. Pull back, it raises up, push forward, it goes down. Up ahead of the blade, the ripper teeth that you can see, that's called a scare fire. On your left side, that's your next one over. You can see that turns that shaft, runs a series of gearboxes and drops that scare fire. Next one over on the left side. This is your circle turn. See that shaft turning? It runs into another gearbox and it spins that blade. And another fun thing on these little cats, where they're all mechanical like that, no hydraulic, when you're pulling that, if you don't lock it in solid, it will start to do that. And it's kind of painful. So you always want to absolutely slam it right where you want it to go. Over here on the right side, we've got the side shift. And that, you can see here that gear and teeth right there, it kicks that whole blade over. This is, if you're doing like a side hill or in a ditch or something like that, something you can't get the grader over, you can run that blade clear out to the side and do something almost alongside the machine. Let's see. Oh, your wheel lean. Now if we do this, and you watch those front tires, now that is so you can turn sharp. This thing is pretty long, and trying to turn with it with the wheels just upright, just a regular steer, it's fine if you're running down the road. But if you're actually wanting to turn around, it doesn't turn very sharp. However, if you kick those wheels over, you kick them here to the right if you're going to turn right, it will really turn amazingly sharp. This does have power steering, which is good. So there's quite a number of gearboxes that you need to keep lubricated, greased up, and All this stuff, like I say, runs directly out of this main box right up here. Let's see. These are all snowplow operations, and nothing's actually hooked up on here. This is if you put a big V plow up in the front. I've got one out there, but I've never hooked it up, and I don't think I've even got the stuff to hook it up. I think all I've got is just a plain blade. Let's see. Gear shifts. You've got a standard, a clutch just like you'd have in any kind of a manual transmission. Whoops. And this is your high and low. So you've got kind of a low range and a high range. This is your regular gear shift. Just like anything else, except the shift pattern is not like anything else, not automotive-wise anyway. See that or not? Hopefully that comes out. Of course, an emergency brake. I think that's about it. We might go up front and take a look at the scare fire and see if there's anything else that I forgot about. So in order to kill these old cats, there is no on and off switch because they are purely mechanical. So you just idle it down, as far as it'll go, and then step on your decelerator, and that's it. And if you notice, when I started it, it didn't idle up right away, and that's why I was trying to show the instrument panel here, because until the engine oil pressure builds up, it won't let that engine rev up. So you can't go full throttle from a dead start with a cold engine. It's got to build up oil pressure anyway before it'll rev up. All right, let's go walk around a little more maybe. This is the scarifier we were talking about. Those are the ripper teeth. So you can drop that down if you're into some really tough stuff or rocks or something you need to break up that isn't blading real well. And that's the gearbox that runs it. And then this is the gearbox for that for the wheel lean. As you can see, that gear runs in through here, and then there's a bigger gear. Then it runs up front on this series of teeth here. That's what leans that thing back and forth. Here's the hydraulics if we had well, you could put any kind of attachment on here, but this is set up for a snow plow, and that's usually about all that ever gets used up on the front of these. This is one of the gearboxes. Here's another one for the circle turn. There's your gear that follows those teeth and lets this thing spin all the way around. And these are the teeth that gear bites into. These are kind of old monstrosities, but they're pretty cool. If you like mechanical things, they're a real marvel. I think this thing weighs just a little over 30,000 pounds. Actually, it's going to be a little more than that, because I don't know that that's counted with the scarifier. I think that's kind of shipping weight. I don't know that I don't know that the scarifier would count for that, so it would probably add to it a bit. Well, we got the old Motorgrader moved. Everything went pretty well. I
now I can get to that rollback over there and we can get that thing out. It's an old gasser, so hopefully it'll start. I know I drained or let it run until it was out of gas last time, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that thing will fire back up and move. It'll probably be like a Motorgrader, I'm sure. I'm gonna have to dump some brake fluid in it because those old single pot things just they're not a good system for leaving set for years on end. In fact, that rollback, you don't want to leave it set for more than a few months without adding brake fluid to it. But anyway, we'll get that thing fired up next time probably. Well, maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But till then, thanks for watching. Toodaloo.